Welcome to PBT Network, Law and Disorder, where we break down the biggest legal and political issues affecting you. Today, we're talking about Georgia's RICO law, why it's even worse than the Federal RICO Act, and why it absolutely shouldn't be legal. We'll also discuss one of the most high-profile cases right now, the Young Thug and YSL RICO trial. It's a perfect example of how this law is being used and abused. So, stick around to uncover the facts. And don't forget to subscribe to PBT Network, Law and Disorder, to stay informed about the issues that matter. Let's start with the basics. RICO stands for the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, designed to target organized crime like drug cartels or mafia rings. The federal version requires prosecutors to prove a pattern of criminal activity tied to an organized group. But Georgia's RICO law is a whole different beast. It takes the federal framework and makes it easier for prosecutors to cast a much wider net. This is where the YSL trial comes in. Prosecutors argue that Young Thug and his record label YSL aren't just making music, they're leading a criminal enterprise. But is that true, or is this a case of artistic expression being twisted into evidence? Let's dig deeper. How Georgia's RICO law targets artists like Young Thug. Georgia's RICO law allows prosecutors to include things that wouldn't hold up in a federal case, like lyrics and social media posts. That's exactly what's happening in the Young Thug and YSL trial. Prosecutors allege that YSL, which stands for Young Stoner Life, isn't just a music label but a violent street gang. Their evidence: rap lyrics, Instagram posts, and vague associations. For example, they've cited Young Thug's lyrics like references to guns or loyalty to his crew as proof of criminal intent. They've connected individual crimes, like a shooting, to YSL members, even if there's no direct evidence linking Young Thug himself. This raises serious concerns about the First Amendment. Should an artist's creative work, whether it's rap lyrics or a screenplay, be used as evidence of a crime? That's the slippery slope Georgia's RICO law creates. Segment 3. Georgia RICO's key differences from federal RICO. Here's how Georgia's RICO law makes cases like YSL's possible, and why it's so dangerous. 1. Broader scope. Georgia's RICO law applies to any enterprise, even loosely connected groups, like a record label or a group of friends. Federal RICO focuses on tightly organized criminal networks. Georgia doesn't. 2. Lower bar for evidence. In Georgia, vague evidence like rap lyrics, text messages, or social media activity can be used to claim someone is part of a criminal enterprise. That's why we're seeing Young Thug's music turned against him. 3. Punishes association. Georgia prosecutors argue that just being associated with someone involved in a crime makes you guilty under RICO. This means you could be held responsible for the actions of others, even if you didn't commit a crime yourself. This isn't just about YSL. Georgia's RICO law has been weaponized in all kinds of cases. The Atlanta public schools scandal. In 2015, teachers were prosecuted under RICO for allegedly cheating on standardized tests. Instead of treating this as an administrative issue, prosecutors treated these educators like gang leaders. Political activists. Georgia prosecutors have used RICO to target election activists, arguing that their coordination amounts to racketeering. And now, artists like Young Thug. If this trial sets a precedent, any artist could be at risk. Imagine your creative work, songs, poems, or films, being used as evidence in court. That's a direct attack on free speech and artistic expression. Georgia's RICO law isn't just unfair, it's dangerous. It undermines due process by lowering the standard of evidence and broadening the scope of guilt. Free speech by criminalizing rap lyrics and creative expression. Fairness by punishing people for association rather than individual actions. And let's not forget, this law can be weaponized politically. Prosecutors have an enormous amount of power to go after anyone they want, from educators to political opponents to artists. That's not justice, it's overreach. If you're concerned about how Georgia's RICO law is being used or abused, let your voice be heard. Talk to your representatives, share this video, and stay informed. We need to push for laws that are fair, constitutional, and protect free speech. Thanks for watching PBT Network Law and Disorder. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more deep dives into today's most pressing issues. See you next time.